Welcome to Our Devil. Today we are taking a look at r/am I the antagonist. Our first story is from Throwaway 9,757,657. Am I the antagonist for my reaction when I learned that my fiancé returned my wedding dress and replaced it with the one his mom picked for me? My fiancé, male 33, and I, female 28, are getting married in December. His mom is the intrusive type, but she's nice overall and we somewhat get along. I hate to admit that wedding planning has been an absolute nightmare. His mom wasn't willing to agree on most things. And my fiancé said that since he's her only son, then I should respect and appreciate this vision she has for the wedding and how it should be. She insisted to come along for wedding dress shopping. I took her with me and my mom and friends. I was so lucky to have found what I was looking for. But she picked a dress that she liked so much and said that she always pictured her son's bride in it. Mom and friends thought this line was creepy. I thought the dress was somewhat creepy and totally not my type. I apologized and thanked her for her vision, but told her that I'd already decided on a dress that I had envisioned myself wearing at my wedding. She got all pissy because of it apparently. Then must have told my fiancé because he came home in the evening ranting about how I made his mom upset and turned down her help in choosing the wedding dress and excluded her from the process. I asked, "What process?" "Duh, it's just a wedding dress." My wedding dress, so I really didn't get how she should get a say at all. He got upset and said that this attitude of mine isn't working on him or his mom. He said that I should consider the dress his mom wanted me to buy, especially knowing that both dresses weren't that much different anyway, like she said, but I told him yes, they were different. Like so much different. Anyways, we argued about it, then we dropped it. Yesterday I came home and found out that he had returned my wedding dress and replaced it with the one his mom wanted. I called him and he was straightforward about what he did and why he did it. I lost it and started screaming at him. He asked me to calm down and really give this dress a chance. I refused to even listen. I screamed at him without giving him a chance to speak. He got home and we had an argument. I then went to stay with one of my friends and he kept calling and calling, then texting saying that I overreacted and it's his wedding too, so it wasn't cool how I screamed at him. He insisted I give this dress a chance. He went on and on about how his mom has a vision and good intentions and just wants what's best for me as her future daughter-in-law. Mom is livid and has been wanting to go scream at him and his mom, but my dad said that this isn't worth ruining my relationship with my in-laws. He suggested I wisen up and go with the flow, but is it too much for me to be able to pick my own wedding dress without being guilted about it just to keep the peace? Am I the antagonist for my reaction? ETA Q&A. I'm editing in some answers to frequent questions I get. A. The dress she picked wasn't all too crazy, but just wasn't my type. B. This issue started during wedding planning and there were other things. Like way too many things we didn't agree on. But this vision has been there for quite a while. C. I am paying for the dress obviously. D. My fiancé's dad is deceased. Also, his mom suffered from multiple health conditions. Has no daughters but one only son. E. He's still persisting. Comment by BKLYN Peter. Your dad is wrong. This is worth ruining the relationship over. Marry him and get a lifetime of being treated this way. Is that what you want? Comment by Ratio No 1114. Not the antagonist. Comment by Alisong89. Not the antagonist. Maybe his mum could wear it to the wedding and stand in for you. Our next story is from Throra 32,343,456. Am I the antagonist for losing it on my husband for lying about an emergency to get me to leave my brother's wedding early? My husband has been sick for few days. He got sick around the time of my brother's wedding. I took care of him 24 hours for days. He's on meds and can move and go to the bathroom and eat on his own. I told him I was going to my brother's wedding and he threw a fit saying I couldn't leave him alone while he's sick. I told him he was not that sick. It's just some stomach that he's getting treatment for and suggested he call his sister to come stay with him. He said no and told me to miss it. I got upset and bluntly said no and that he could survive for few hours while I attend the wedding. He sulked, and as I was leaving, he said he hoped I won't ever come back. It hurt my feelings, but I know he was just mad and didn't mean it. At the wedding, I got a text from him saying he lost balance and fell off the stairs and hurt his back. He said he was in a lot of pain, he threw up and couldn't move. And insisted I get home ASAP. I freaked out and started calling his phone, but he didn't answer. I thought he must have passed out, and I freaked out even more. I got in my car and drove back to our house immediately. When I got home, I rushed towards the stairs while calling out his name, but he wasn't there. I started to really freak out. I rushed into the bedroom and found him in bed drinking juice, and soon as he saw me he put the phone down. I instantly knew he lied, so I lost it on him and started yelling, saying he freaked me out and caused me to miss my brother's wedding for nothing. Absolutely nothing. He said that he already told me I couldn't leave him alone in the house and that this very scenario could have happened if I stayed there any longer. I yelled at him, calling him horrible, which made him cry. He started crying and throwing his juice all over the place. I had to step out and call his sister thinking she'd come help, but she came and started cussing me out, saying I had a lot of nerve, expecting her to back me up after I so carelessly left her brother alone AF the house in that state just to attend a party. We got into an argument and I went to stag with my family. My brother understood WHRNI explained the situation to him. My husband and I haven't seen each other since then, but his sister kept saying I had no right to scream at her brother and cause him a panic attack, and said that he at least was clear with me from the start, but I chose to be dismissive. Was what I did dismissive? Edit: I'm 26 years old, he's 23 years old. Comment by Rocklobsterbot. Not the antagonist. He's manipulative and grossly childish. Please think about leaving someone who is trying to separate you from your family. Comment by Harley Bidness. Husband is a complete asshole. Comment by Effie Sue. Not the antagonist. For saying you can't go to the wedding. For saying he hopes you don't come back after going to the wedding. For lying. Causing you stress. And forcing you to leave the wedding. For him to carry on and throwing juice like he's a toddler who can't use his words. For poisoning the well by obviously shit-talking you to his sister op. GTFO. You're better than this madness. Our next story is from None. Am I the antagonist for saying I'd call the police if a family heirloom wasn't returned to my adopted daughter? I, 28 female, met my husband X, 30 male, 10 years ago. At the time, he was a single dad to a 6 male baby girl. Lily, 11 female. I worked at the bakery he'd stop at every Saturday before their walk. And eventually we started going out. We got married 6 years ago. And I legally adopted Lily soon after that. In my family, it's a tradition that the oldest daughter gets gifted an old sapphire ring on her 11th birthday. The ring belonged to my grandmother, who gave it to my aunt, who gave it to me because all of my cousins are male. Lily's 11th birthday was a few months ago. And I gave the ring to her because she's my oldest daughter. She loves that ring more than anything. She put it on a chain to wear around her neck so that she could keep better track of it. And in the months that she's had it, I've never seen her take it off. My sister Mia, 24 female, is one of Lily's favorite people. Lily really loves her aunt. And sometimes Mia will just text to let me and X know that she's picking Lily up from school to go eat or go to the bookstore or something like that. The other day, I got one of those texts from Mia. So I just told her to be safe, have fun, and make sure my daughter came home at a decent time because it was a school night. Lily got home about an hour after we had dinner. And she barely said hello to her dad or me before she went up to her room. I thought that maybe she was just tired. So he and I didn't immediately ask her what was going on. But later that night I went to go check on her because I wanted to be sure. When I walked into her room I saw that she had been crying. I asked her what was wrong. And it took a minute. But she eventually told me that Mia took the ring from her because it's a family heirloom that's supposed to go to the actual oldest daughter, and because I adopted her. That means she isn't really family. The only reason I didn't go to Mia's apartment that night to get it back was because I spent the rest of the evening reassuring Lily that she is my family. And she is 100% my actual oldest daughter, no matter what our DNA is or what anyone else says. I left Mia a voicemail the next morning telling her to return the ring. Before I drive over there and get it myself, she texted saying she would only give it to me if I had a daughter before she did. But until then she'd keep it safe to make sure I didn't give it back to the wrong person. So then I told her that if she didn't return the ring by 2 p.m. that day, I would be calling the police and reporting it stolen. She started texting like crazy, saying I was being ridiculous and doing too much. Our mom is in on it now too, and she thinks saying I'd contact the police was taking it too far. And that Mia was only trying to keep to the family tradition. Comment by Call It How I See It 19. Not the antagonist. Call the cops to escort you to take it back, and on top of that remove her from the pick-up list and keep her away from your daughter. If she truly loved Lily she wouldn't do that to her. Comment by PINKPEONIES 23. Not the antagonist. She took a birthday gift from your child and then told that child that she wasn't really family. Your sister is lucky that all you did was say you'd call the cops. Comment by Zatadal. Not the antagonist. File that police report. It's not your sister's place to determine who your eldest daughter is or isn't. Our next story is from Throw R a Safe 34566. Am I the antagonist for refusing to let my sister's boyfriend have the password to her safe while she's away? I, female 22 am, currently staying with my eldest sister, Natalie, female 32, and her boyfriend, Micah, male 36, as I finish my semester in college. Natalie has a safe of all her valuable jewelry and other antiques that she keeps in a safe. Since some of the stuff she has is from our grandmother, she let me have the password to be able to access the safe anytime I wanted, but under the condition that I tell her first and not give the password to anybody else. She went away on a trip with her girlfriends 2 days ago and won't be back till Wednesday. This morning as I was cleaning up, Micah showed up and started asking me questions about the safe. I tried to give him one-word answers and he sensed that I was being secretive, but really I was just being straightforward. He then asked me to give him the password to the safe. I was taken aback. I said why, and he said that he has always been curious about what's in there and wanted to get a quick peek. I said I didn't have it, but he told me to quit lying because he heard Natalie say that I could open the safe anytime I wanted. I told him that still, it's not my property and I can't share the password with him. He said it was really not that big deal, but I politely told him no. He got upset and reminded me who he is to Natalie and how I was just a guest in their house. I said that being a guest is completely irrelevant in this case, but he chuckled and said that I was being ridiculous. I suggested he wait for Natalie to come home, but he got more upset and said that she's already refused to let him take a look. I shrugged and said that it was not my problem. We got into an argument and I tried calling Natalie, but her phone's been off for hours. He yelled at me saying I was disrespecting at his own home and rushed out. I'm home alone now and feel completely shaken because of how he yelled at me. I'm an awkward person with little to non-confrontational abilities, and now I think I might have escalated the situation and made him feel upset, and as if I don't trust his word when he said it'd just be a minute. Am I the antagonist for standing my ground on this? Should I just let him have it if he gets back and asks for it? Comment by HKRNE. Not the antagonist. Clearly there is some reason Natalie has already refused to show him what's in the safe. And you would beta antagonist if you went behind her back and let him look anyway. This sounds like a really uncomfortable situation. But you're doing the right thing by not opening it. You should probably also tell Natalie about this weird encounter also when she returns. Comment by Cell Reddit. Not the antagonist. And tell your sister immediately, him trying to do it behind her back. The pressure he put on you and that he scared you. It's all incredibly inappropriate for a 36-year-old man to try and bully his partner's younger sister while alone in the house. Never mind to access a safe full of valuables his partner does not trust him with. Comment by Educational Links 886. Not the antagonist, but please tell your sister what happened. That's a huge red flag. Our next story is from Narrow Cold 4950. Am I the antagonist for giving my son's dog to his ex-wife? To begin with, I love my son with all my heart. But he blew up his marriage by cheating and has moved back home. I, female 55, have 3 children. My oldest is my daughter 30. Then my twins 25, male F. My oldest just got married to a wonderful man. My younger daughter is going to grad school overseas, and that leaves my son. Let's call him Carlos. He has always been a handful. He got married when he was 20. His ex-wife had a 3-year-old daughter whom I love, and no matter what I am her grandmother. They had a child together. My other grandchild. He is 2. COVID caused a lot of stress in his life, and he works in a fly-in fly-out camp job. He is gone for 2 weeks at a time. Then home for 2 weeks. He makes very good money and enjoys spending it. Maybe a little bit too much. Carlos cheated on his wife with a coworker. I am not judging him. I am not perfect. But he chose to leave his wife and children and move back home. It doesn't really make sense for him to rent an apartment or something for the 12 days a month he is home. So I allowed it. But he decided to be an ass, in my opinion, and bring his dog with him. My grandbabies love this dog. But he is trying to punish his ex for telling him to leave. It is a beautiful border collie, and it is the perfect dog for their home. Huge yard. Lots of walking trails nearby. Even an off-leash park only a 10-minute drive away. I live in an apartment downtown. I am allowed a dog, but if I were to have one it would be something sedate and non-shedding like a Maltese. I swear I tried watching this dog. But my son is irresponsible. He doesn't walk him much. He doesn't brush the dog. He is just holding on to the dog to lever his way into his ex's life. The last straw was this last time off work. He was away for 2 weeks. ND then came home for 1 day before flying off to the United States for a vacation with his new girlfriend. So I called my dill. Checked that she wanted the pup back. She almost cried with joy. Packed up everything that belonged to the dog and took him over there. My grandchildren were ecstatic. My son just came home for 3 days before he has to leave for work and asked where his dog is. I told him the truth. He is calling me an antagonist for giving away his pet. Also because I said that if he tried to go get the dog and bring it back he was not welcome in my home. Am I the antagonist? Comment by maybe later then. Not the antagonist. You did exactly the right thing for the dog. And your son, well, he needs to ducking grow up. Comment by cute little hellbeast. I'm not generally supportive of unilaterally giving away someone's pet. But I think it was entirely justified in this case. He brought it into your home without asking you, and he's literally never home to take care of it. He was intentionally making you, the dog, and his own children upset. Just to get back at his wife for not putting up with his cheating. Good job. Comment by Pretty Royal 9021. Not the antagonist in my opinion. He's only thinking of himself. Not you. Not the dog. And not his kids. Also, calling you an antagonist? You're nice to let him back into your home at all after that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, smash the like button, and subscribe to our Devil. See you in the next one.